Hello there. Today we'll be continuing with our eTims series and we'll be covering item management. So item management module is used to add items or products or service to your account, that is eTims account that you use to raise invoices on when you are using the KRA application, both for desktop and mobile. So to add the item, on the left side there is item management menu. When clicked, a show up menu comes up with the item, so you click on the item. So then you are presented with a form that will enable you to add an item, product or service to your eTims account. So to add an item, you need to fill most of the fields that are available in this form. So myself, I like starting with the class code. That's where you search on the classification provided by KRA where your product or service falls under. So class code is here. So once clicked, you are presented with a different form where you are able to search through all the KRA categorization of both services, product or raw material. So just as an example, I'll be adding computer. Say I want to sell desktop computers. So once you already have the name that you want to search based on the service, product or raw material you need to add to the app, you come here and type in that name. Say in my case, computer. So once that name is typed in, you can see I'm already getting the suggestion of possible areas that my computer might fall in. So please note, on this search there are actually a number of levels, 5 of them. The first one can see this one, second, third and fourth. So and also there is the 5th level. When you are searching, make sure you search through all these levels. So myself, I like searching from level 5 backwards to level 1. So if I do that, you can see if I hit on the search button, I find that my computer may not be on level 5. So if I go further and adjust back to level 4, you can see I'm getting quite a number of suggestions, and I can scroll through to see whether I can get a match. And computer printout, computer kiosk, computer speakers. So far I'm not able to get what I want. Probably computer workstation will work, but I'll not still go with that. So I can adjust back to level 3, then search. Can see I'm getting computers, computer accessory, computer printers and all those manner of things about computer. Probably my computer is under this one. If I click on that, you can see indeed I have the desktop computers there. If I select that one, meaning I've settled to go with this particular item as where my item falls in terms of KRA categorization, then you can see once I select that particular code and the name loads in that form. If I were to select this one, you will see that one, the one that will load in. So I'll be going with this. So I select that one. So once done, I confirm, meaning I've settled on that as my item class code. So once I've already searched the item class code through all those 5 levels and found the closest match and confirmed, I can go about filling the rest of the fields. So before we proceed, please note all the fields with the search button, including the first one, are not supposed to be filled, but you are just to select against the available search that KRA provides when you click on them. But for the first one, that one is automatically filled once you have provided quite a number of fields that are needed for it to be automatically filled. So since I already have the item class code, I'll start off to number 2, which is item name. Under item name here, you provide a specific name to the service, product, or the raw material you want to add. So in my case, I'm selling HP desktop computers. So I'll just write that name, desktop computer. Then maybe if I were to add other specifics, I could also do that, but for now I'll just use that. So then we go to the batch. The batch is used when you are sourcing your items from different places, or you are getting them at different prices or different times of the year, and you'll want to differentiate based on when you got them into your list of products for sale. Say for my computers, I could be having supplier A and supplier B. If I get those ones from supplier A and they are of the same type as the one I'm getting from supplier B, then probably the one for supplier A, I'll have something like A, then I indicate the date, meaning that's the date when I got them, and maybe the other one, my batch number will start with P, and so on. So batch number is just a unique way you have identifying your products based on the preferences or parameters you choose to differentiate when you are separating various things, maybe buying price, where you are sourcing them, and so on. So the batch number field is entirely optional, but item name is mandatory. So for this case, I'll leave it blank, but you can key in anything if you are batching your supplies or items. Then the next field is the item type. The item type here, you specify whether whatever you are adding, the item is a finished product, raw material, or service. So in my case, the desktop computer is a finished product. I'm actually selling it off, so I settled for finished product. Was it that it was raw material that I need to do some value addition, then I will choose raw material. Then probably were it that I'm adding a service, say plumbing, electrical works, or even consulting, then I'll choose the service option. So you can choose any of these depending on what you are adding. So in my case, it's a finished product. Then I press on OK. Then next, there is purchase price. That is also optional, but you can still declare the price that you sourced your service at. Let's say my desktop was sourced at 20,000. 20,000. Then beginning stock, how many pieces did I source? So in my case, I'll say I sourced, say 10 pieces. Then expiration, this one is used for perishable products, especially foodstuffs or any other product that has to be used within a certain time beyond which it may not be good or available for sale. If maybe you are selling breads, then you could indicate here expiration date, set it to use. There is two options, use or no use. So if you are selling perishable products that do expire, then you'll set it to use. So if you set it to use, then just next to it you can see you are being asked for the expiration date, which also set depending on which date your product is supposed to be of good condition before it goes bad. So mine does not have the expiration, or it's not perishable, so I'll make sure here expiration is not used, so I set it to no use. Then the description, so probably here you can put in more details about your product, maybe talk about the color, talk about the screen size, talk about the storage, whether it's like HDD or it's SSD, the technology, or just describing your products to more details. But again, that field is entirely optional, so just in the interest of time, I'll also leave this one unfilled. But if you do choose, you can add more details about the name of that item or service you are adding. Then this origin, when you click to it, you get a search. So here you are providing the country where you are getting the service, product, or raw material. If you are sourcing it from Kenya, then just here you type in, then search the country you are getting your service or product from. Let's say you are getting it from China. You just write China, then click. You can see you get the two number code. Once you are sure that's what you want, when you select it, confirm, you find it added. You can also say your product probably are sourcing locally, that will be Kenya, done. Then you can see Kenya is already appearing here. If you take that, confirm, it picks. So you can choose that depending on whatever country you are getting your merchandise from. Then there is packaging unit. When you get these products in bulk, how are they packaged? So in there again, that's a selection list. You are not supposed to fill in anything. If you just touch here, you get possible ways you could be packaging your products. So if it's a laptop, most of them come in boxes. So you just scroll through until you get the appropriate packaging that will work for your home, probably cartons. So I think in my case here, the best option will be carton. So once it's selected, I just press OK. Then the selling price. Which price do I feel like I'll be selling? That is when I've already included tax. So I'll say my desktop, I'll be selling at say 25,000, or say 27,000. That's the price I feel I should sell my desktop. So 27,000, done. So this price, it can always be changed at the point of selling. So it does not mean that it's cast in stone, that once you are set here, it has to remain like this. No. Although this will be the value that will be available there when you are selling for you to edit. So in my case, I'm selling at 27,000, and this value has tax included. So expiration date, as I had said, this one applies for perishable products and mine is not. Then next, use barcode. You can set to no use or use. So if your products, maybe you are selling most of the food items or some of the items that are usually barcoded for when you are searching them via scanner, then you can set to use. When you set it to use, then you check here, it will need you to key in the barcode. That is just a numeric or a number that identifies that product when you are searching using a scanner. But in my case, I have not put stickers with barcode on the desktop, so I can set this use barcode to no use or leave it as default. Then here the next one is insurance. Is whatever I'm providing to my client insured? So this one you'll find when you are probably in hospitals, you find that whatever services that you provide are paid by insurance company, maybe after treating the patient and all that. It's not the patient paying you directly. You have to make the claim to the insurance company. Then if it's so, then you'll set this one to use. But in my case, the desktop is not applicable to matters insurance. So here I'll set it to no use. Then the quantity unit. When I'm getting them in bulk, I'm getting them in cartons. But when I'm releasing them, how am I dispatching it out? So here again, there's a list of package quantity units for you to select. So if you just click there, you get the list available. So for my laptops, for my desktops, I give them out in pieces. But if it were something else, then you'll as well give the appropriate quantity unit. Maybe you are doing masonry work and you are charging by square meter, or you are selling cement after getting the whole lorry, you are selling them in bags. So in my case, I'll just go with the pieces stock item, which is a number, because I'll be selling the desktop in pieces. Then another field that is very mandatory, that is tax type. This item, will you be selling at which tax? Number A, that is exempt. Number B, this is the VAT 16. But here, in most of the app, you'll find it to be in 18. That's just a small error on the field, but when you do the receipt, it should come out at 16. And I'm sure when KRA will be doing the update, they may as well make this adjustment. So the A1 is exempt, the B is 16, the C is 0 rate, then the D is non-VAT. So those are the available taxes, but most of the time you'll use the B for 16. But if there is any other item you are supplying to any other types of taxes, then set appropriately. Mind you, this tax can also be changed when you are selling. Press OK. Then safety stock. This one is the minimum order level. Like when that number is reached, especially for raw material and products, you get an alert, or you are alerted that your stock is low, so that you are able to readjust or restock. So in my case, I can put in 1, meaning that I should be notified when the stock goes below 1, or I can put in 2, so below which I'll get a notification that I need to add a stock when I try to sell. But for me, most of the time, I feel it's just fine to leave it at 0. So that one will help you when you need to control like your order. so that you are able to know that I'm just left with few products that I need to reorder. So this use means whatever you are adding, should it be available for us to sell when we are selecting the list of the products that we have. So make sure if you are adding a new item, this use has to be set to use. If you set to no use, then the product will disappear when you save. So make sure this one is on use, and you'll know how no use works, especially when I'll be talking about editing already saved products. So click on. Then the barcode, as I'd said, that one is used when you are using the barcodes to identify your products. So once everything is in, you can now go to the auto numbering. So on the auto numbering, if you just click on the new, if everything is correctly in, you'll get an automatic number generated. But if everything is not clear, you'll get a prompt on what is needed for you to get the number. Like in my case, you can see the number is already in there. But if other mandatory fields probably are missing, then I'll remove one mandatory field so that you can see. Say I remove the name. I think that's one of the mandatory fields. If I try to save, that one is needed when you are saving. I'll just return it. Desktop computer. I'll say HP desktop computer quickly. So just trying to, these are the fields that are needed for you to, if I remove that one, say I set to packaging unity, so mostly let's say country of origin. So ideally what I'm trying to say, most of the time when some of the required fields that are needed for you to have the item code are missing, you'll get a prompt saying you add packaging unit, add quantity unit, or even item type before you are able to get the item code. Say that one, it's already in there. I think I'll demonstrate when we'll be doing another item. So once that name is, that auto numbered item code comes up, you are able to save your item. So as usual, you get that prompt to confirm whether you indeed want to save, and myself, I'll confirm by pressing yes. So you can see the item is successfully saved and is HP desktop computer. So just to demonstrate, suppose I maybe adding an item. Let's say this one now is let's say I'm adding which item, let's say we are adding books, so maybe those are maybe paper, printing papers. So I just search paper. We are actually at item, we are at cancel out of that, we are at item, the class code. So let's say we are adding paper. Done. So and most of the item are usually in level 3 and 4, so you can change the levels until you are able to get a close match. Say the paper we are looking for, there are these ones, and they are packaging paper. So if I confirm, suppose I now want to get the item code. If I try to click on new, I'm told to add the origin, that is nation, country code. So I'll be forced to go in and say maybe this packaging material are from, say, Uganda. Maybe I don't know which other field is needed for me to fill. Then I'll try to get item code again. I'm told item type is empty. So you'll always get those prompts until all of them are in. Then you are able to save particular item. Say this one is as well finished product. So if I try again to get the item code, packaging unit is empty. So maybe I'm getting them in bells or roll. I'm getting probably in a bundle. So if I try again to get item code, I get unempty. So ideally, if you are not sure which fields will be needed at minimal for you to have your item saved, you can continue saving, and whenever a field is needed, you'll get a prompt to alert you. So maybe I'm selling them after packaging again as pieces. So if I try to get the code, now it's there. But still, if I try to save, I am asked for enter the item name. So there you try again to add the item name. Say now these are the one we call it, maybe you'll call, some will call it khaki, peppers, or any other work that will work for your case in terms of your people identifying the material. So if I try to save that particular item, it's asking for the item type. So maybe this one I'm also doing at 16. So if I save, so please note when you are saving, especially for products and raw material, and you've not provided the stock, I'll just get out of that. That is the beginning stock and current stock. If you are starting, you can set that to say 100. Then this one to 100 as well, meaning it's when you are starting, the beginning stock and the current stock are the same. But if you do not put that, you'll not be able to sell your receipt to approval level. So that will need you to again to adjust your stock. So it's usually recommended, if it's a product or service, make sure you include some number here for the quantities you have at your premises. So if I save that, you can still see it will go through successfully. So that's how you add your items to your eTims KRA app. So next, I'll take you through on how to edit those items. Probably you added and there is something you left out, and that's it for now. Thank you.